The ghost gun is a relatively new phenomenon. In the past couple years, this term has popped up in the news on occasion. Put simply, the ghost gun has brought big changes to the world, especially in residential areas. Our world is one of constant, limited space. In contrast, the number of ghosts inhabiting our world has been increasing exponentially. Naturally, this leads to an overpopulation in the ghost realm. Two ghosts residing at a single dwelling creates problems. Differences in haunting styles, such as one ghost wanting to slam doors and cupboards while the other one wants to cast shadows on the walls, produce interghostal conflict. This ultimately leads to ghost turf wars. As most ghosts were created before modern times, their preferred weapons for these turf wars tend to be items such as ghost whips or ghost brass knuckles, weapons comparatively inefficient relative to newly introduced ghost guns.
That's not what a ghost gun is.
What do you mean that's not what a ghost gun is? But I already recorded the intro. A ghost gun is a bootleg gun assembled outside of a manufacturing facility. Ghost gun kits are easily obtained online, and they are not illegal. A ghost gun kit comes with all the parts needed to assemble a real working firearm, but cannot be assembled without a few modifications. However, anyone with a bit of metalworking skill can produce a working ghost gun from a ghost gun kit. For police, ghost guns represent an increasingly unwieldy problem due to their lack of traceability. For today's interrogation, we are going to Rhode Island, the smallest state in the Union. Yet, even Rhode Island is plagued with dozens of cases per year, for which untraceable ghost guns obstruct police investigations. Gerardi Cruz, a ghost gun producer and seller, has been brought in for questioning. Cruz most likely suspects that one of his clients sold him out to the police. When he attempts to justify his ghost gun hustle, claiming that it's not illegal, the truth is that police don't care. They're playing a completely different game. Cruz might have been brought into the police station on the presumption of a ghost gun crime, but the police actually have evidence that he was personally involved in a shooting, evidence that they hide up their sleeves until just the right moment.
Right hand or left hand?
Left hand. I mean, right hand.
Where did you grew up in Mass?
Yeah.
In Boston? See yourself?
Yeah. Couldn't stay in this well anymore.
My boss likes to bust my balls because I grew up near Worcester, and then he makes fun of me saying I'm not really from Massachusetts. Give me a hard time.
Everybody says Boston just because that's the most one city.
Yeah, well, people here from Massachusetts like, oh, you're from Boston? But my boss really makes fun of my accent. He thought I was faking it. We had to go to Boston one time to get a car, and then he calls me out on it. Yeah, right in front of the Boston cop. Well, you're not from Massachusetts. You're not from Boston. He starts busting my ass. All right, man. So, like I said, we're going to go over the rights form. I know when we spoke to you at the house, Sergeant Wayne read them to you, but just so it's a little official, all right? So, did you graduate high school? Did you graduate high school?
I didn't.
Okay, can you read and write?
Yes.
No, some people can't. I'm not making fun of you, but just so you can read along with me, okay? So I'm going to read it, starting with line 1. I have the right to remain silent. I do not have to give a statement or answer any questions. If I give up my right to remain silent, anything I say can and will be used against me in a court of law. I have the right to the presence of a lawyer and to talk with a lawyer before and during any questioning. If I cannot afford a lawyer and I want a lawyer will be appointed to me at no cost to me before any questioning. If I do talk to the police, I can stop at any time, and the police have made no threats or promises to me. It says, do you understand your rights? All right. Can you hear me clearly? Because I know you were.
I can hear you clearly.
Okay. All right.
Especially in a small room like this. Yeah.
All right. I just want to make sure there's no question. So, yeah, if you want, you can write your name right here for me at the top. Yeah, but at any point, like, you don't understand. Just, I know we're in masks, so it's hard.
That's the biggest problem. That's my biggest problem. Just
And then, yep, right
I
there.
read lips more than
Your
anything.
signature, and then just write your address, please.
I don't really have a like solid address, so.
Okay. Well, where do you get mail, I guess? Where do you get mail?
Alright.
That'll work.
What is the date?
The date is the 21st. Month's flying by, man. Alright. So originally, we were, I'm Ray Major, by the way. I work for Providence PD. I'm offended here, so in case you didn't know who I was. We obviously were at your sister's house earlier today, right? So we came there on a search warrant on a thing that something happened with Somerville, an investigation, right?
I remember speaking to you. I remember telling you, you were beating around the bush about something. What is this about?
Yeah. Well, when we got in, we walked in, and like I said, we got a warrant signed by the judge to come in there. I didn't know you were going to be in there. I had no idea. But we got in there to speak with your sister, and you were in there. And then in the bedroom, you were in there, and you had those ghost gun things, right?
Yes, so it was at 80% higher. The 80% catch, yes.
Okay. And where do you get those things?
Are they illegal?
Yeah, I'm just curious. How do you order them? Like, is there like a website you go to?
I mean, you can order them on many different websites. There's not just one website that you know. I mean, if you Google it, you can Google it. It's completely legal.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
You Google it, it'll come up. You guys can make one yourself.
Yeah. And you, how many did you have?
Not too sure. I don't know off the top of my head. Probably like 7.
7. All right. And there was one that was partially completed, or like it was drilling, right? You drill holes in those things.
Yes.
It's like, so how do those things? I never honestly do till today.
No,
I never even saw one.
They never come 100%. They
Yeah.
never come 100%.
Well,
You
what-
have to do so much stuff to those things. Yeah.
So because we opened one, like there's one in the box, and it's like a square. So how does that work anyway?
Straight.
It's like the lower portion of it. And so what are you supposed to do to those things? Like how do they get built?
I think it's, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory if you actually look at it.
Because I saw a square and I could see like holes, but I didn't know if that was like you pre-drill holes and you put bolts in or what? Is that simple to do? Or?
Yeah, I mean it's surprisingly legal. Yeah, so you can literally YouTube it and right there.
You get your instructions on whatever you have to do.
At the federal level, Cruz is not wrong. At the time of Cruz's crime, no federal laws banned the manufacture of guns for personal use, provided that the creator of those guns can legally own an equivalent gun otherwise purchased. But gun laws vary wildly from state to state, and a person who decides to become an at-home gun manufacturer should probably read his local laws. In Rhode Island, guns without serial numbers and guns made through 3D printing are illegal to possess and to sell. The crime carries with it up to 10 years of prison time. Cruz is ignorant to his crime, thinking that he merely need explain his understanding of legality to the detectives, who, by the way, are playing dumb in regards to the concept of ghost guns for the purpose of getting Cruz to loosen his lips. The police are looking for admission of the manufacturing and sale of the ghost guns in step 1 of this interrogation. They will later use it against Cruz should he not admit to a second crime, the crime that the police actually brought Cruz in for, as a way to detain Cruz and as a bargaining chip for a plea deal.
What do you do for work?
I'm a sheet metal worker for Local 17.
And that's the union? Where is that union?
Dorchester, Mass.
How
1181 Adams Street.
long you been working for them?
Year and a half now. Since July of 2019.
Did you go like trade school or something?
No.
How did you get into that? It's like
I got to a program. After I had gotten out the hospital on my GED. Got to that program, got right in.
it's pretty good. They pay good.
Yeah. Started off, yeah. Right now, yeah.
Alright.
5 years, 52 an hour.
52 an hour? You get overtime?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Good.
I'm definitely in the wrong profession here. Jesus Christ.
That's how I got into college. I didn't finish high school, but got my GED. Got into that, got into college.
Are you going to college currently?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Institute of Technology.
Well, good for
I'm
you.
getting my bachelor's in applied science.
What do you want to do with yourself? What's your goal?
I want to be a
What?
superintendent of a construction site. I don't want to be working in the field forever. I don't want to be in the office behind the desk either.
Yeah.
I like to be on the field, but at the same time, I don't want to be doing everything at the same time. You know, I'll go on the field, show my face. This looks good. This needs to be moved. That. That's the only reason why I'm going to college. So my doctor doesn't have any reason to say, oh, you didn't go to high school. I don't have to go to you didn't go to high school, but I went to college. Not to college.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not everything, you know. What you get your bachelor's in applied science there, you said? So what does that mean? Like,
Majoring in engineering technology.
Okay, so that's kind of like
yeah, that's basically
supervisor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think of Wentworth. I think of like science or something, like science. Yeah. I didn't know if that was like.
That's a big technology school.
Where is that?
In Roxbury, Mass, actually.
Oh, all right. Cool. Not bad. So, these boxes and stuff, you got all that stuff is yours, and all that stuff in the room is yours. You live in that room?
Anything you find in that house is mine.
All right.
Even if it's in my sister's room.
All right. Well, do you live in that room? Because there was like a bunch of stuff in there.
It's hard since I work in Boston.
Yeah.
So, you know, if I'm working in Boston that week, I'm going to find somewhere to stay in Boston. And if, you know, the weekend I'll come over here, spend some time with but then I have to go back over there for work. Like yesterday, I just got laid off because there's just no work. The owner texted me saying, you know, this project search started soon enough. You're gonna have to lay me off. I'm like, you know, dude, I totally understand. It's like the 4th time I've been laid off in the past 6 months.
Well, that was going to be my next question. So I was wondering if like Corona kind of screwed you as far as jamming up work.
It screwed me with work, school, the R&V, bunch of shit.
Did you get COVID at all?
I'm trying to say that.
Corona, did you ever catch it? We had like, well, you guys had a bunch of guys, right?
Yeah.
I went to go meet him and Detective Gonzalez.
We had, I think, we got like 420 guys here, but we had like 100 and something that had it so far.
There's actually a couple people in my local that actually passed away from COVID, so it's like, it's not just anything. And then work with a bunch of guys that don't believe in masks. It sucks. Like, bro.
Were they older or were they younger guys? Or?
No, they will wear it when the foreman tells them to put it on. Any other time, it's like...
Yeah. Well, were they in good shape or were they kind of, I mean, some of the people are kind of messy and then they get sicker?
Middle-aged men, you know.
Yeah. It's important to watch your health, you know, shit's a bitch.
Yeah. That's why since I got laid off yesterday, I'm like, might as well go to Providence. And plus, I don't know if it was you guys or Somerville Police Department, but they didn't say what department, but Boston Police did go to housing authorities in Boston. That's why I had to come over here. Try to get all my stuff out of there because they're about to bring her to court.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Who are they trying to bring to court?
I don't know. After I spoke to you guys, like right after I spoke to you guys, the next day, housing had called her saying that the police had went over there asking about somebody that lived in that house. She's like, no, he's not the police.
Where was this?
I don't know where the housing office is.
No. So where did they go?
To the Urban Edge Housing Authority. I don't know. Whatever housing authorities owns 7 Dixwell.
Okay.
So since I wasn't on that lease, I told you guys I wasn't on the lease.
No, we actually didn't even talk to housing authority.
I don't know. Well, they called her saying that the police went over there, so then they had to do an inspection, and they found out that I was living there, so now they're bringing her to court. That's why I had to get her out of there. The only other place I have is my sister's house.
Who's her?
Just Shira. I'm not too sure her name.
Is she a friend of yours or?
Huh?
Is she a friend of yours?
She is my friend's girlfriend, so it's like I try to not talk to her as much as I can, out of respect for my friend.
Good.
It's like me, you, and your girlfriend live with each other. I'm gonna try to stay away from her, talk to her as much as I can, so you don't think anything.
See that?
I literally just go over there, sleep, get up, work, same thing all over again.
Yeah, I don't know who went over there, but we don't even know where you were living. You said, I think you told me 9.
Yeah, on the glass it says 7-9. Same
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we didn't talk to housing authority, just so you know.
Yeah, so that fucked up. So that's what I'm like, damn. I'm not gonna have her lose her house. Let me just go to Providence. They got here last night.
So just to kind of swing back to today, when we showed up, you were in the bedroom, like that's kind of like the place you were staying. What were you doing in there?
Completing a kit. Because I like to work with my hands. Shit calms me down. I don't like cars. Honestly, I don't like cars.
You don't like cars?
No.
I don't know anything about cars either. But so what do you mean completing a kit? What does that mean?
Well, I wasn't actually working on a kit. I was working on a messed up one. One that was messed up. I didn't like it. I didn't like how the trigger was.
Okay. So the kit, like that's like when you're like connecting it together, like you did like see the pieces together, working on the kit. So that what is there a Dremel in the bedroom? Do you use a Dremel?
Yeah.
What is that for? What does that do? That's like
To just buff out the kinks, you know, you put it together, it's not going to be 100% every time. You're always going to have to make some modifications. You're always going to have to clean it up. You're going to want to make it look nice. You're going to want to polish it, you know?
so the Dremel pieces are used for the metal and the plastic?
Yeah.
Or you just like shave down the okay. I wasn't sure if that was like you
Not
got different bits?
so much just shave metal, polish it, make it smooth, but plastic. I mean, is it legal? The 80% kit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because before I even ordered it, I read it thoroughly. ATF rules, DEA, all that, I read it over.
What happens when you complete a kit?
But you have to get it serialized? Yeah.
I don't know, that's why I'm asking.
And I'm not too sure. That's what I read, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, because this is like kind of new stuff for us as well. They're relatively new, you know what I mean? There's like new technology that's kind of coming out, so.
Especially with what happened at the Capitol 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's really why I hopped on it. That's really why. Biden.
What do you mean? You thought they were going to stop selling it?
No, I really think there's a civil war coming with this. Another.
Oh, no, that's what you mean. I thought you meant like they were
Like the last
gonna...
time that there was a stage at the Capitol was 1812, and that was back with when the British, when the Redcoats took over the Capitol in 1812, over 200 years ago. It's 2021. That should not be happening.
Yeah, well, the world's kind of a fucking...
Yeah, dude, no, that really scared me, honestly.
So, how many of those kits did you have again? Would you say?
7 on the floor, 1 in the drawer.
Okay. And there was one you were kind of like in process or whatever, or working on, tinkering around with. There was a thing in the kitchen. It was like a big box with like a drill in it. What was that thing? It was like encased and it had a drill bit in it, like a clear plastic like front to it or something.
GG2.
And what is that thing? And that looks like something out of a machine shop or something. What is it?
The same thing. You can use that to finish an 80% kit. And so if you don't want to use it, you don't want to do it by hand, you can just throw it in the machine.
And it's like already like pre-set up to do what it needs to do. Or like...
Yep, it runs through a software on the laptop.
So there's a USB thing. Like when we looked at it, there's a USB drive. Is that like what is that?
That holds the software. That holds everything that it needs to run. You know. That's all the information from it. It's not gonna just drill anywhere it wants. It has, a certain algorithm that it has to go by, and that algorithm is in the USB.
And you plug it in. Like, what do you have to connect it to a computer, and then connect the computer to that drill thing, and like, you download a program, and it'll just run almost like a printer, like whatever. It knows what it's gonna do, and it just.
Not like a printer, but yes, it'll run.
So if you put the thing in there, it'll just kind of like self-operate. Shit. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. Actually, I have the title for that.
The title? What do you mean? Like the title of ownership?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How long have you had it?
I don't have the paper in front of me. I want to say since September.
The
title does have the date on it. When I bought it, I asked if that was legal too. I was told it was. Everything. I have the bill of sale for it.
One of those expensive?
Yeah.
How much one of those go for?
The newest one that just came out, $25,000.
$1,000?
No.
$2,500.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you get discounts on any of that because you work for the union? Do they help you out?
I wish. I get discounts on my freaking steel toe boots.
They don't?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, good. I was going to say, some places will just cut
Just not
10, 15% or something.
Yeah.
Or a trade.
You know, 10% deal. There's 10%. It's a big difference when you're spending like $300-400.
Well, okay, it is.
Get $30-40 off.
What was your plan with all these things? You know what I mean?
I wanted to have my family set if there was another civil war coming. That I'm being serious. What happened at the Capitol Day really got me started. I want to make sure that my sister had one. That's why I had one. You know, wanted to make sure my brother-in-law was able to have one. I just wanted to make sure my family was okay.
So you created these things to try to protect yourself and your family. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right. So when we were there, you had mentioned something about stuff in your sister's room. What's supposed to be in your sister's room? We found a gun box, like a Glock box.
Yeah.
What was that?
I gave that with her so she can have it in her room. If anything happens, she's not gonna have to run all the way to my room. You know.
So you gave her, you put a gun in her room, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
If you found one in her room, yeah, that was mine.
All right. Well, but if you didn't find one, I mean, I was saying, did you put it in there? How did it end up in there? What's that? I said, if there's one in there, you're saying you put it in there?
Probably gave it to my sister to put it in there, but if you found a gun in there, it was mine. I'm not gonna have my sister take anything good. I'm not gonna have my sister take anything.
I'm trying to get you to take. Hey, we're just trying to get to the truth of what it was. That's why, honestly, man, today was the first day I ever saw those ghost gun things. To me, that was like an article we get once in a while because you get like union emails or whatever.
Yeah.
Every once in a while for work, we get emails about updated things. And I saw an email like, oh, this is what a ghost gun is. Today was the first time I actually physically saw any of it. So I didn't know what the hell it was.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it seems like pretty savvy. It's simple enough to actually sell that shit. It probably is a good way to.
It doesn't matter what fucking job I have. It doesn't matter where I go to school. It doesn't matter this, that, and the third. I'm not going to be able to get my license. So it's like, if I'm going to protect my family, I'm going to protect my family, dude.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to get a license to carry?
Say that one more time. I was trying to figure out what you said, but I'll ask now.
You're saying you're not going to ever be able to get a license to carry?
Yeah. No, I'm not. So it's like,
yeah.
I'm not going to wait for something to happen. Especially, I don't know how many times I'm going to say it. That thing at the Capitol really had me going. I was sitting in front of the TV the whole time. Just 3 hours just watching it. Like, oh, this is really happening. This is really happening. And they're really hesitant to deploy the National Guard.
Yeah, well, it was
like
wild stuff.
But then when we were protesting in Boston for Black Lives Matter, we were getting pepper sprayed, we were getting batons. You know, it's like, but we didn't see anything like that in front of the Capitol. I'm sorry, I don't want to keep going on that.
No, that's fine. That was a friggin' kind of a horrific day for everybody. I don't think anybody stood there and thought that was a good thing that happened. You know, that's one thing everybody can agree on, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, that looked like something out of Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? And Storm in Winterfell or something.
That's just something you don't see in today's world.
So, we asked you when you were at the house. You've never been arrested in Rhode Island, right?
No.
Okay. But you've been arrested in Massachusetts?
I have.
So, what did you get arrested for in Mass?
A couple of things.
Okay. Like what? I mean, I haven't run your criminal. When I run your criminal history through a thing called NCIC.
No, I know it's not gonna pop up, but I'm like.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like trick you. I'm just curious what it was.
Alright, gun charge back in 2016. Possession with intent to distribute back in 2019.
Okay.
Yes, 2019.
What was the most recent thing? I mean, sorry, I know you're sitting here now, but I mean before today.
So I didn't get booked where I got arrested and brought to the station, but I did get brought up on charges. Is that like the same thing?
Yeah, I get it. What do you mean? Did you have to appear in court on it?
Yeah, I have to report, but I didn't get arrested and brought to the station.
Yeah, I think they filed for a criminal complaint, right?
They summons you?
Yeah.
They tell you, that you get paperwork saying, hey, you need to come on a certain date?
Yeah, assault with a dangerous weapon.
Okay.
Assault with a dangerous weapon, yeah.
Okay. Is that case done, or is that still on?
I don't know. The last court date, your partner actually mentioned that at the house. The last court date that I knew of was April 17, 2020 at Roxbury Court. I didn't go because the court was already closed at that time. I didn't know what to do. Went up to the to the door and said, call your attorney. I don't have my attorney's number. I haven't spoken to my attorney since I called the case.
You have a public defender?
No, she never called me. She never called me saying I have a court date coming up. She never called me saying that I missed court. She never called me saying anything. So when your partner came up to me saying I didn't go to court on December, when was it, 22nd?
21st.
December 21st, that really threw me off guard. I didn't know about anything about that. Because if I had court on December 21st and I missed it, do you really think I'd go to Somerville Police Department on the 28th, knowing that I missed court?
When, like I said, we searched your sister's and we found the Glock box, but there was no gun in the box. So do you know where that gun is?
I really don't.
I mean, beyond like your sister, I mean, like you got 3 little kids right in the house, so like safety reasons, it'd be good if somebody knows what that thing is so they don't stumble upon it. You know what I mean? You got these are your nephews, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what, 6, 11, and 13? Yeah. So these are young kids. So for really just for safety reasons, it'd be a shame if somebody stumbled upon one of these things. So we looked through the house, but is there something? Is it like hidden away somewhere that people wouldn't find it? Do you know?
No, I'm telling you, I'm being honest with you. If it was in there, I would have told you just like I told you it was in my sister's room.
Right. That's what I'm asking you straight up because God forbid a month goes by or something, and one of the kids finds it. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? I don't know the condition, whether she would keep it loaded or any of that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm sure you've seen TV shows and you hear horror stories about little kids getting their hands on guns.
About the kids, are they at the house or did my sister get them out?
Yeah, Timmy is at
Tim?
Yeah, they're good. You know what I mean? And we honestly at the time we were talking, and one of them was playing Fortnite, and one of them was sleeping. I think 2 of them was sleeping. So we tried to. We didn't really want them to see us. You know what I mean? We're not trying to harm the kids. We tried to be as polite as we could about it when we were there.
I know my sister's being a lot. And that's why I just tried to talk to her before.
The 8% guns. Is there any there's other components and stuff in the closet? What are those AR like buffer spring things? What do you do with those?
Those are actually where he was supposed to come. I had gotten those by mistake actually, and I just kept those. I didn't know what to do with them.
You ordered them by mistake?
I didn't order them by mistake. I had gotten them by mistake though.
Well, like when you ordered something else, they came.
They shipped me the wrong stuff. So I just left it in the closet, and it's like just been sitting there for months.
Okay. How much does each kit cost when you buy them?
On the website.
Yeah. Do you remember the one you bought it from? How much they are? Cause I looked at it. The prices kind of vary, I think. Yeah. But when I was looking at it, it was like
they vary.
Quick forum.
No, I spent a lot of money.
You did. So, how much did you spend in total? You think when you bought them?
$27 before shipping.
And
something like 3 bands total.
There's a lot to ship those things. They hammer you because it's the weight or something. Or?
No, not really.
How long does it take to complete one of those kits?
Shit, you could build one in 45 minutes. It might not shoot. It might not work. That's why I have those dummy rounds. I'm not going to be outside letting off live rounds.
Yeah.
If I want to make sure it shoots, I'm going to use a dummy round. And then after that, putting it away, making sure it's put away.
So how do you know if it shoots or not? The dummy round comes out?
No, you can see you can see where the firing pin hits on the dummy round.
Okay.
So those things are soft enough plastic, so it's going to treat it like a lab round, and it'll leave the indentation in the primer.
Yeah, it'll leave a little mark. That's it.
I didn't think it would. I thought it was hard to plastic.
It's not like I'm over here like the freaking cowboy in the Wild West. You know, make sure it shoots, put it back. Just want to make sure it's good. Make sure I'm good. She's good. Make sure there's 3 kids in the house. I just want to make sure everybody's good, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking even if you like whatever, you went out into the friggin' sticks in the woods somewhere and you were shooting them off, like it's probably not a bad idea because.
And then
what if it doesn't work? Is there like potential for this thing to go like in your hand?
You gotta sit there and you can look for shell casings. Like no, I'm not doing that.
No, I mean, are there any stories of like when they fire, like somebody puts one together and they go out in the woods or something, they go shoot?
And they just blow up, yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So it's just like everything has to be aligned just right. Like the slide it wouldn't actually kick back and it'll blow up in your hand or something.
Blow up in your hand. Next thing you know, you have a piece of barrel in your throat.
Yeah,
dude. No, shit's serious. I wasn't trying to be a dick at home when I said you can't just be a little, any dummy can't make this. Like, no, you really.
Has that ever happened to you or anything like that?
No, I never shot a live round out of those.
Cruz makes several contradictory and illogical statements here. He states that he's never fired any of the guns he's made, and that firing a bootleg gun for the first time can be life-threatening, as the gun could explode if there were a mistake in the manufacturing process. Yet, he gives one untested gun to his sister and has 7 more lying around the house. He was in the process of making even more, in fact. When the police arrived at his house to arrest him, he was deep in his work, running a hand-powered tool, and was unable to hear both the police's entrance and his sister's warning that the police were coming in. So, was he making yet another gun just to keep in the house? In which 3 children lived, by the way. Or was he selling untested guns to unsuspecting clients? Moreover, Cruz is simply lying about having not tested the guns. Police will later show evidence to Cruz that they know he has fired at least one of his guns.
Do you know anybody that has? Like, has it gone smoothly? I don't know. It doesn't seem like scary shit. You're like this. Hoping for the best, you know what I mean?
I'm not, here, bro, go touch this. Like, no, bro, I'm not even going to give you that. Nope.
How many have you completed?
That first one in the drawer. That one in the drawer.
And you plan on keeping, like, all of them and just, like, putting them in places? Or what were you thinking? I know you're afraid of the Capitol, but I'm like, what's your security plan, I guess, if it's like you're in that
I was going to buy a big safe, but I only have a white safe right now.
You have a white safe?
I have a white safe.
Oh, one safe.
That's it. It was underneath the TV stand. I don't think there was anything in it.
Okay. Do you want a glass of water or something?
No, I'm fine. I do have one question.
Sure.
What am I being charged with? I still haven't spoken to my daughter's mother. I just want to know what to tell her.
Right, well, we'll still figure that out. That's why you're under investigation. I mean, like I said, we went there strictly to get, because we had a warrant to go see Ashley and get her phone. Then we discovered you there, and there was like all this stuff going on. So that's why we shut everything down. And that's why we went to the judge, and the judge signed a warrant. So we go back in and look at all the weapons and stuff, because, you know, just to do things the right way. So we're kind of sorting some of that stuff out.
Did you have anything live? Yeah. So you have one completed, you said, right?
Yeah.
But all of them, I didn't really see what was in the room. Was there any live ammo there, like regular ammo?
Yes, there was. I had told what was it, captain or sergeant, the man I was speaking to in my room.
Yeah, Sergeant Wayne.
Yeah, I had told him how many rounds and where they were. Just like I said, dude, I'm not going to give you a fucking hard time, dude.
No, man, we appreciate that, obviously. I mean, it is what it is. I'm sure you're not looking to jam anybody up, you know what I mean? I know. You're trying to do right by your family and stuff. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
You want water? You want water or anything?
Yeah, it's like Palm Spring. It's cold.
Yeah, please. I'll take it.
So they got Detective Cicerone wanted to show you a video and talk to ask you something.
So, Dre, do you remember, obviously you came to the police station, and we were asking you about an incident that happened in Somerville, we were trying to figure out if you had the car, if your mom had the car.
I remember you showing me 2 videos.
Yeah. Which is kind of why this kind of all started, right? Obviously you're in a little bit of a jam, right? You said you were never in Somerville, right?
Yeah.
So we had an incident, I believe it occurred on November 14th. Okay? This past November. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay.
And you remember a car came in, you're like, yeah, I think that's my car.
Yeah.
The car you said the bumper that was off?
Yep.
Okay. Your mom still has the car? You got it out of the tow lot?
Yeah, we did. We got it sold out that same day, 28.
Yeah. I'm guessing she has the car still?
Did you say that?
No, your mom still has the car?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said you were never in Somerville that day?
No.
You never drove through, like, the areas of Lynn? Okay. So the reason why we asked you that is obviously, like, modern day, right? 2021 now? Everybody has what? You know what these phones have? GPSs. We called you, right? When we asked you to come in for an interview?
Yeah.
We have your phone number.
Yeah.
We have your subscriber information. And your phone sends off these pings, you know that, right?
Yeah.
That shows where you are?
Yeah.
Okay. So part of the pings was, it showed like, we knew that you had driven through Lynn, which is what we're asking. So I'm going to show you another video, okay?
The real reason the police bring Cruz in for questioning is Cruz's involvement in a shooting, which was recorded by surveillance cameras. Cruz's mother's car was captured at the scene of the crime, and text messages between Gerardi Cruz and his sister imply that Gerardi was in possession of the car at the time of the shooting. The surveillance camera was not clear enough to capture the certain identification of Gerardi Cruz, but the interrogation continues nonetheless, because the police want to get a confession. And now that Cruz's lips have been loosened with all the ghost gun talk, it should be easier for them.
These are all cars, right? This is on November 14th. Around 3:15 in the morning. Right? That's the same car I showed you that day. Okay, it's missing the front bumper. It's your car. It's got the little things in the back. Listen. Alright, so you think you must have some stickers in the back, and I'm guessing they're for work?
Some local service.
Okay. Now you said you can't drive, right?
Nope.
Your license is suspended? Okay. Who would have driven your car if you weren't driving?
I'm not for sure.
Because that day that you came down to the station, you said if I wasn't driving my car and my mom didn't have it, nobody would have it.
Yep.
Okay.
I said that.
So this is why I remember I said, well, when did you, and you were like, I think sometime in November, maybe around Thanksgiving. And then right when she got the car, she was embarrassed. So that's why you guys put on that, the black front bumper, right, the new one? Okay. So the guy that just got out? Smoking a cigarette? You know any of those guys?
No, I was just about to say them. What about them?
Huh?
I was just about to say, what about them?
I'm just asking if you know them.
No. Can you see anything about them?
No?
Still didn't say anything.
No? Okay. That's not you, Dick?
No.
The guy coming out of the front passenger side?
Who?
The one that came on in the beginning there? Oh, I reminded. I'll let the plates go. That's not you?
No.
Oh. Why don't you think so?
Oh, no, that's not me.
Okay.
Especially at 3 in the morning, no.
Well, you were out that day late. I know, yeah. You smoke, right? You're smoking? I know you smoke because you said you smoke.
Yeah,
And your
smoke
mom said you
cigarettes. A
smoke.
lot of people smoke cigarettes.
No, I know. You don't think that too?
No.
Why don't you think so?
Why do you think it is?
I'm just asking you.
Why do you think it is?
Well, we got some information, right, which led us to this point. That you maybe had an altercation with somebody at some point, okay? That lived down in our projects, which is down by Memorial Road in Somerville. You said you never were there, but I know for sure that you had friends or a friend that used to live in this area.
I had a friend that lived in that area. I had a friend that lived in Winter Hill.
Right, but
10 years ago.
Right. You were never friendly with anybody from our Mystic projects?
If you want to play the video, you can.
Sure.
But I'm not going to be answering anything else without saying.
Okay.
No, you just smoke cigarettes, sir.
No. The problem is not a lot of people's cell phones go off. You know what I mean?
Alright, so, drive, we got your cell phone. We're not gonna ask you any questions today, but with questions because you don't want to talk. We're gonna keep this, okay? It's gonna go undergo a forensic audit, they call it. And then we're gonna seek a search warrant. The judge is gonna give us a search warrant to go through it. Alright? So, sit tight for a second. We'll be right back, alright?
Ultimately, Cruz stays quiet about the shooting, and the detectives can only pin Cruz for the ghost gun manufacturing, for which Cruz receives the maximum sentence of 10 years. The psychology in this case is pretty simple. Imagine if you had robbed a liquor store and also killed an employee of that liquor store, but on a separate occasion. It's tempting to admit to the robbery to throw detectives off your track regarding the murder, as admitting to the smaller crime makes you seem honest, bolstering your believability for when you deny the larger crime. But at the same time, police know this, and they hope that the confession for the ghost gun crime, the smaller crime, works like a foot-in-the-door approach, which is when you get someone to make a larger admission by first getting them to make a smaller admission. And if that doesn't work, hey, at least they got an admission for the smaller crime. And that's exactly the strategy that the detectives applied in this case. Though the foot-in-the-door approach didn't pay off. If Cruz were smart, he would have lawyered up from the get-go, letting the lawyer do the arguing about the ghost gun legality. But Cruz's confidence in himself led to an admission of guilt to a crime punishable by 10 years of prison time. If the prosecution could not get Cruz on the shooting, for sure they're going to push for the maximum penalty for the smaller crime, and that's exactly what happened in this case. Thanks for watching. Check out my Patreon if you want to support this channel. Other than that, peace out, Wildcats.